once you've been able to articulate how you make things happen, what you're known for, what are all the places and ways that someone out there, whether it's a recruiter, a decision maker, a stakeholder at the organization, or even someone who just could connect you to someone like that, where are all the places and ways that you need to make sure you're felt for what your value really is? I mean, we look at LinkedIn, for example, we look at resumes, and we wonder, well, how can I possibly use those two places to tell a story? Tell us how we could do that.
I'm glad you brought that up because so many times as I'm meeting with members, their search is basically the same way they've searched for a transactional job. And the truth is, at your level, these jobs aren't going to be posted for the most part. I think it's only 13% of executives get their jobs through job postings. And I always ask the question, so you're the CEO of $1 billion company and you need to bring in a CMO to set up to match your 5-year growth plan, and your whole organization is going to be sitting on that strategy. How would you go about finding that person? Are you going to post it on Indeed or LinkedIn and everybody chuckles? Of course not, right? What they're going to do is they're going to go through their own network. They're going to engage a retained search firm or a headhunter. And even now, even if you're in PE or VC, you're going to go right to LinkedIn. So job postings, 80% of the jobs you're looking for are not going to be posted there. So that should not be the crux of your time. So to your point, Tony, it's first, once you understand your unique value proposition and what makes you different and what you make happen in companies, that must be translated to your collateral and to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is where people go to hunt for talent after they exhausted their network. So there's a couple of pieces to that. There's a science to LinkedIn. What's written under your name determines who searches you're coming up in. I ask every member that I meet with, how many calls have you gotten from LinkedIn in the past year for your next dream job? And typically I hear none, 3, 5, which is not going to be nearly enough to get you this job. So I bring that up because that's how important LinkedIn has to be a magnet for you. If these jobs aren't posted, you have to have people reaching out to you for this job. And who are they going to reach out to? The people that come up in their searches early, and then the people who are able to at least represent their value proposition out there. And that's going to grab them to at least want to reach out to you. So your branding and your value, if your LinkedIn looks like a job description and people don't know what you want, and by the way, it's not always what you want, it's the position you're looking for that has to be represented there. They're not going to reach out to you. So that's very, very important. The next step is when they do reach out to you, you have to be able to talk about it in that regard. And they're going to ask you for a resume, and the resume has to match that LinkedIn profile with the same value proposition. So there are ways, and of course, some of our services help you with the networking piece because we do create collateral pieces that represent you and your brand and why people want you to make it easy to network out there. Because typically in your network too, we hear all the time, if you say to people, I'm looking for my next opportunity, let me know if something, it doesn't always generate what you're looking for. Somebody has to explain you. And most of the people I meet with, I know people in their network don't even know how to talk about what they actually do to somebody else if they had to. So you want to make it easy for people to open those doors, make introductions for you. So there are ways, Tony, but it comes down to what is your brand? How do you represent that brand? How are you garnering interest in people? And then once you're having the conversations, being able to articulate that.
Yeah, and think about as well, people who've experienced you, right? Have experienced the value you've created. Often the best marketers are the people who, I'll say more than often, are the ones who've experienced the product or service and have told someone else, because we first believe what we say about ourselves, but we often, hear straight talk from other people and make recommendations. And so knowing who knows your brand is a very valuable tool, right? So you could always connect with them and remind them what you're about.
Or help them explain it. You know, are you a builder? Are you an innovator? Do you transform organizations? What do you do that somebody wants to bring you in? I know the salary comp packages you folks are looking for. Okay, you need to explain to somebody why they're paying you all this money. What are you doing for the stakeholders of the organization? What is your mission? That's what they want to hear. A lot of times people in your network don't really understand that or know that. So, you know, part of what we do is help get that message across so it makes it easier for them. And quite frankly, I talk to so many people that what you do is even way beyond my end. So somebody needs to get that succinctly to open the door for you.